What is up, homies? My name is Felix and I am here back again with another video for you all today. Essentially today I'm going to be trying to make the same beat except for in two different DAWs. The first DAW is going to be FL Studio, which you have to spend a couple $100 for, and then I'm also going to be trying to make the same beat inside of LMMS, which is a free DAW that anybody can go and download right now and start making music with. So we're going to see how close we can get these beats to sound and see, maybe what limitations we run into with LMMS. But yeah, so make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produced, my Beatstorm, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so. And actually, before we get into this one, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Unizin. You guys probably all know the classic Unizin MIDI chord pack, which is actually what I'm going to be talking to you guys about real quick here today. Unizin is actually giving you guys a free Unizin MIDI chord pack kind of sample thing. It has a bunch of MIDI chord progressions in there. You can drag and drop into whatever DAW you're using, and you'll have a beautiful sounding chord progression with whatever instrument you want to use. And then they also have individual chords in there, so if you just want to drag and drop in certain chords, and it's all organized by key as well. So if you're in F major, D sharp minor, it'll have all the chords that are in whatever key you want to use, and it'll also have the relative major and minor for that same key. So yeah, that's really useful for anybody who doesn't know music theory, or maybe you're just learning music theory, or maybe you just want a little bit of inspiration for your track. Whatever the case may be, you can go download the free pack that they've got for you guys down in the description below. Click on the link down there and you'll be able to download it and start making some fire beats with it, which is actually what I'm going to be doing here today, because I'm going to be using the pack to make the beat that we're going to do for this here video. So yeah, make sure you guys go download it. It's free. Shout out to Unizin, and now we can get into this video. Alright, so here we are inside of FL Studio, and I was actually thinking that I did this one other time in this video right here, but I just made a really simple beat. It wasn't anything crazy at all. So today what I want to do is make like a little bit more of a more complicated beat, even though I will be using the free Unizin MIDI chord pack for this. I'm going to probably add some more layers, some counter melodies and stuff on top. So I guess the first thing we got to do is pick some sort of instrument to drag our MIDI files into. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use some type of sound from inside Expand, and hopefully we'll be able to find something good. As you can see, we got the pack right here, and I'm going to choose a certain key to bring in a melody from. I'm probably going to go with F sharp minor because that's one of my favorite keys. And we're going to go F sharp minor and then chord progressions, and now we've got a couple little chord progressions to choose from. Okay, so we got this chord progression right here. Sounds pretty nice. And the great thing about the Unison MIDI chord pack is that you can move all the notes around. You can change whatever you want to change, put a top melody on it, do whatever you want to do because it's all MIDI files. So I'm going to mess around with this chord progression just a little bit so that it fits better with the tempo, and then I'll be right back. So honestly, I ended up not really changing a whole lot. I was going to make the chords a lot faster to fit a different drum pattern that I had in my head, but now I have a new idea in my head, so I just kept the chords pretty much the same, and then I randomized the start times and the velocities and everything. So now we've got a little bit of a refined chord progression, and now I'm just going to add a little bit of drums onto this because obviously with the Unizin chord pack, making melodies and stuff comes very easily. So most of these drums I'm going to record with my drum pads, and I'm going to do that with the snare right now. What? Alright, so I got this smooth little drum pattern going on. It sounds like this. I think it sounds pretty nice, but what I want to do now is add in a bunch more little percussion sounds here and there. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I just layered a couple things and added a couple more percussion sounds. Now what I want to do is add a bass line to this, and then probably add some type of lead, and then add some, layered keys and stuff like that. So I'm going to probably load up Hybrid 3 for my bass sound. Alright, so right now what I'm trying to do is mess with the little mod wheel on my MIDI keyboard to give it this kind of sound when I play this, this weird little sound. I don't really want it to be that exaggerated, like all the way from here to here, but I do just want to have that slight effect in there. So I'm going to try to get this right, but I feel like this is going to take quite a while, and I don't know how I'm going to do this inside LMMS. Ooh, a little something like that.
What is my chair stuck on?
Alright, so I pretty much just finished the melody, and this is what I've got. It goes on a little bit longer than that, but I think this is good for now, and kind of the whole beat sounds like this. It's obviously not mixed or anything yet, but what I want to do now is go into LMMS and try to see if we can make the exact same thing that we have now, because this is pretty much like the basic concept for the beat, and that's what we want to copy over to LMMS. Alright, so we have LMMS loaded up here, and I feel like this is kind of going to be the easy part, because all I really need to do is look at what we've already made and then copy it over, which I don't think should be too hard, but we might run into a few different problems with certain things that I did inside FL Studio. So the first thing I want to do is just get the melody out of the way and over with. So I have my FL Studio on this screen and my LMMS on this screen, so I'm just going to be looking from side to side here and copying stuff over. Obviously I have to load in all the plugins that I had though. Alright, so we got the first sound. Essentially what I did is I just exported what I had in FL Studio as a MIDI file. So I just did Control-Shift-M, and then I was able to drag in the MIDI file of what I've edited. So because of that, it saved a lot of time having to, manually strum these chords and everything, and, manually randomize the velocities and all that stuff. Would have taken quite a long time to do. Now we just gotta copy-paste this. It's not gonna work, is it? Control-A, Control-C, Control-V. Bang. Easy. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that with every single... The Grime Monster. Oh my god! Why are these here? Take this off of my screen. Alright, so that was relatively easy considering I did just copy and paste everything that I had in here. Took me about like 1/10 of the time it actually took to create the whole thing in the first place. However, though, we have it in here and it sounds like this. Now I feel like it's going to be the hard part where I have to go back and find where each drum sound was in a certain drum kit and all that type of stuff. So hopefully that won't take too long. So I was able to find all the drum sounds that I used. Now really all I have to do is just copy the drum pattern and then it'll be pretty much done. And we can see how these two stack up against each other. Alright, so I would say that we're pretty much done here. Essentially, we have the whole drum pattern going on here. The drums sound like this. There was basically one limitation that I ran into with something that I did inside FL Studio that I couldn't do inside here. Inside FL Studio, this kick right here normally sounds like this. I don't know if everybody will catch it, but the original sound has a little bit of like vinyl crackle at the end, and I wanted to get rid of that because I didn't really like that for the sound I was going for. So I basically just did this and turned this out knob up, and it essentially just gets rid of that vinyl crackle at the end. It wasn't really anything too crazy, but this is like the one thing that there's no way to do inside of LMMS, as far as I know. So yeah, pretty much I think we're done here. I know some of you guys are gonna say it's cheating because I copied the MIDI file from FL Studio. Nevertheless, this still proves the point that you can make whatever type of music you want, literally anything, and it doesn't really matter what DAW you use, doesn't matter if it's a free DAW, doesn't matter if it costs $200. You're basically only limited by what's up here. You gotta make the best out of the tools that you're given. So yeah, honestly, that's pretty much going to do it for me in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if you enjoyed this beat. Let me know if you think one in particular sounds better than the other. Also, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produced, my beat store, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so. Also, just got to give another shout out to Unizin for sponsoring the video. Make sure you go download the free little chord pack they got for you. Link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time.
Feezo. in my head. Got these niggas hating, they upset. Yeah, walking in this bitch, I keep my tech. Yeah, wake up every morning feeling